welcome to Up Close with Carlos Sang, celebrating art, entertainment, and the human spirit. Welcome to another episode of Up Close with Carlos Sang. My next guest is an Olivier Award-nominated actor who has previously starred in shows such as We Will Rock You and Memphis. He is now currently starring in the West End production of The Play That Goes Wrong. It's a huge pleasure to be able to introduce Rolan Bell. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so it's really remarkable, The Play That Goes Wrong. It's really been running for, about 11 years now in the West End. What do you think it is that has made this show so successful for so long?
Well, one thing that I've noticed firstly is when joining the company in the rehearsal process is the sheer diligence behind this masterpiece of writing and the whole team. There's a very tight-knit, friendly environment that holds the whole thing together, and there's no let up at all on keeping things fresh, keeping things tight, also giving a chance for new ideas to come through. And that's just talking about what might make things stay, keep things positive behind the scenes, which I think is very important. But then when it comes to the show itself, what the audience sees, it's a show that you really can. I mean, it sounds cliche, but it is a show you can watch over and over again. As a cast member, I'm lucky enough with the way that things are set up to watch a variety of versions of different characters played by different actors, or even in the rehearsal process, having other cast members watch them playing the role I'm playing, the understudies and such. And there's so much within the writing itself that you can just find bits of comedy in everything. It's just all laid out for you. It's just such an original idea that I believe Mischief have really perfected, and I truly believe they have perfected it, masterfully put this thing together and probably updated things over the years and adapted it through the times, through the ages. So certain jokes that may have worked back in 2014, maybe, have been scrapped and introducing something new that makes things more current for today. So there's so many things that keep it relevant, keep it fresh, keep it alive. So if someone, there has so many diehard fans, if people come back and watch it after 5 years, and I've had people say things like that, they will say, they loved it then and they love it now, and there are quite a few differences within it that make it rewatchable and just keep it fresh throughout the whatever era it seems to be traveling through. That was a very long answer. I'm sorry, but there's so much you can say about it. I just want to give it credit that it's due, and it really is. Like I say, it's a real masterpiece.
Yeah, absolutely. It is such a special show. I completely agree. Like watching
Yeah,
it, I think just before the pandemic and then watching it afterwards, it's definitely,
yeah,
stayed relevant, as you say. And Mischief Theatre has really, diversified over the last couple of years, with the comedy that about a bank robbery, Peter Pan goes wrong, magic
yeah.
goes wrong.
Mhm.
What do you think it is that makes Mischief, so uniquely special too?
I think there is a real bravery in the choices that they made, the template that they've come from. It's like I don't know who for sure, but it's like someone, or it's like as if they just went, how about, we have these things that we've had going on in theatre traditionally for so long, but what about, obviously the goes wrong idea itself, but how far can we push that? It's like Sean Turner, the director, I think he took quite a bit of pleasure in watching my jaw drop every week within rehearsals when he was like, and then that's going to happen and you're going to do that. And I was like, I'm going to do what? And I was like, oh, you serious? I am. And he was like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. So get up there and give that a go. So yeah, I think it is that thing of just there's nothing that's too extreme, and I think that is quite rare within. Basically, I think people get used to certain formulas generally within this construct of writing pieces, and Mischief have taken that and gone. We'll take the structure and then we'll break the structure, put it back together, break it again, go further than we did last time, and just keep going. And I think that's the beautiful, unique quality of the company overall.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I feel like comedy is very hard to get right. Like people, laugh at different
Yeah.
things. How challenging has it been, figuring out what works and what doesn't?
Well, I suppose the advantage myself and basically my cast members have within joining at this time is that we're joining something that's been running a long time and it's been tried and tested in a variety of ways. And I suppose during the casting process, they would be looking for things that are maybe similar but also unique and different about the qualities that people bring and everything. So new things are discovered. So there is a sense of maybe trial and error, and both our directors are very open-minded to us. There's quite a lot, yeah, of freedom to try new things, and we might put it to the director as I was thinking of trying this or something like that, and give it a go. If it, as long as it makes sense within the construct of the piece itself, and lends itself to the script. But yeah, I suppose we all, due to the nature of the rehearsal process, we're given a sense of security within ourselves to try things and to just test things out. And I think hitting the ground, as in performing it to an audience, by the time we got there, I think there was a sense of confidence within going, I can try this and I have license to try that as long as it is being truthful. And of course, some things may hit, some things may miss, but if you don't try, you'll never know. And I think that's what gave birth to the Mischief overall, is that um, courage to just give it a go. So some things do work better than others, and sometimes you have also the dynamic of audiences as well. So
Mm.
your Tuesday audience can be completely different to your Friday audience, or you might expect the Friday audience to be really lively at like the reaching the peak of liveliness, and but you might come in on a Tuesday and those guys are the most raucous audience you've ever experienced. So there's also riding those sorts of waves, and the way people react to things can sometimes give you a little idea of how to maybe lock in something that maybe worked even by accident. Again, I'm rambling on with another long answer, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the show has been, running for, a number of years, as we mentioned. And what was it about Robert that drew you to this character?
Robert really does. He just makes me laugh in the sense of um, he's very much an actor's. He's a thespian, and when I say that, I mean like the kind of cliche thespian, at least in the way that I saw him myself, that takes himself within the acting world so seriously, and I feel like that just works great for a show where everything goes wrong. If he's this person who just needs almost obsessively everything to go right,
Mm.
I just found that within itself like a funny platform to work within. And yeah, it's just that there's so much goes on within the character. He's got great one-liner moments, great physical comedy moments. There's just so much he has going on, that as an actor who's always wanted to really explore I saw this as a great opportunity to do so. And Robert he's just he's hilarious,
Yeah.
really, just off the page hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is, as you say, a very proud actor, a very proud
Mm,
thespian, and it's amazing to like watch how everything just like falls apart around him. Was there any
yeah.
part of you that like related to him at all as well? Were you always, really drawn to, the stage and wanting to, take yourself seriously and be taken seriously too?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. I went to Drama Centre London, which is no longer running, but it's like a classical acting school and everything, very serious. It's got a very serious reputation behind it and everything. And I was always determined to go as far as I can go within the industry itself. So within that, I suppose you have to take yourself seriously. And going to the sort of school that I did, even as what I've been 18, 19 at the time starting, I may have had like very youthful, jokey things or within my personality, but the ethos of the school is very regimented. So I suppose I adopted quite a bit of that. So then when coming into the industry professionally, it's that case of being able to sort of relax and let go of the things that you've picked up, and sort of enjoy it and trust yourself and things like that. And I think with Robert, he is all of that, but he has not been afforded the moment or the break or opportunity to sort of just let go. So I understand where the character's coming from. I just think he, maybe if he just did one job where it went right, or somewhere he was, I suppose, acknowledged in some way, because I feel like as if he wants to be acknowledged as someone of great a great quality of acting, and probably studied everything about it, and wants to share that. And unfortunately, somehow he's not been seen. So
Mm.
yeah, I suppose looking at that, many actors, I suppose we may have things that it's like, oh, I wish I could get a role like that to show this side of myself or that side of myself. And many times, unfortunately, we don't. But in this case, I get to play a character who has the opportunity now, but unfortunately, it's not quite working out or going to plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
mean, yeah, I mean, the play that goes wrong, it's such a lovely ensemble piece as well. Like everyone kind of like gets their moment to shine throughout the show. How has it been, working with this company of actors in particular?
it's been a real dream from the moment of the audition process to the first day of rehearsals. You know what? The way the company introduced us all, there was from day one, we had a session where we sat around in a circle and we told one thing about ourselves that we think no one would ever assume of us or would definitely not know about us. And that in itself helped ease us into being open about ourselves and open, receptive to others. And that helped, I suppose, the bonding process move along so much quicker. And that in itself then allows for us all, no matter what role we're playing, no matter how big or small the role is, everyone is appreciated as one force. So when we did improv and things like that, I remember crying tears of laughter um, at times, and going home and trying to explain to my wife like how funny things were. And it was one of those situations where you're really excited to tell someone, but it's one of those you had to be there moments. But like I say, it was just a dream from the get-go because there's so much talent here. And the beauty of it is being in something where everyone gets to show that. And it's a pleasure to bring that to the stage every night we're all on together.
Yeah, that sounds really wonderful. I mean, it's been a good couple of years, since we last saw you, on stage in the West End. I mean, how has it been, coming back to the theatre, doing 8 shows a week too?
I've really loved it. It's how can I describe it? It's like coming home in a way, I suppose. It's like I've been on holiday, I've had a great time, I've loved it, but there's nothing like walking into your own front door and taking that breath in and going, this is a space I belong in. belong in and feel at home in. And like I said before, like with this particular production, it's just a great team of people to come back into the West End world with. And it was interesting for me. I wanted to see, as years have passed, like I wanted to kind of test and see how much have I aged or anything like that. You know, has anything changed about me in that sense? You know, I've been getting on with fatherhood and things like that, and I can, you know, I can honestly say that I feel great. I feel, you know, up to it. This is a very physically demanding job within itself. But at the same time, it being such a pleasure allows for passion and adrenaline to carry through. And yeah, I'm really loving it. I'm just really happy to be able to explore TV and work, do film, and come back to the West End and be a part of such a great show. Yeah, I feel blessed, and I'm just enjoying the journey, really.
Yeah, I mean, you've done such interesting screen work as well, recently, with like EastEnders, Pretty Red Dress, Pandora.
Uh,
How has that, transition been like, going from stage to screen and then vice versa?
you know, I suppose doing the screen work, obviously when we're training, the stage is something you do most first and foremost, and so it's a much more familiar atmosphere. Whereas the screen work was something that I felt I had to do quite a lot of observation on it whilst you know whilst on the job basically. So it, yeah, it's there are so many differences to the disciplines within. One of the obvious ones is being a lot smaller for the screen, things like that. And of course, with every job, it always depends on what character you're doing within the job as to how much you may enjoy what you're doing and things like that. But I've been lucky to play roles that I've enjoyed in each production I've been a part of. It's yeah. People often do like they ask like which do you prefer, screen or theatre, and I enjoy them both. Respect. There are things that the stage brings that screen can't do. You don't get a live audience, and work off of a vibe in a room with screen. And working in front of a camera is sometimes it feels like you're just like Hollywood is just happening around you, and you're seeing things. You're like, hold on, I'm on a helicopter right now. I'm going to set, things, some real James Bond stuff, and you're just just things like that. So yeah, again, just blessed to be able to, dabble here and there.
Yeah. How has it been, juggling parenthood with work as well, and how has that been for you?
Oh well, if I ever thought that life could be tough before being a father, I understand it on a completely different level now. It's a humbling experience that makes you appreciate your parents just that little bit more. Because there are just no excuses for you can't make up excuses for not doing what needs to be done as a parent. Babies, they have to get what it is they need. So if they wake up, you have to wake up. All of those things, and whatnot. You may be very tired in the morning, but I can't say to the baby, "Hey, I've got work tomorrow." It is what it is. So it's just very, very random. When you think things are like could be going very smoothly, it's like, oh, I'm going to go home and do this maybe. The baby has a completely different idea, or something happens where it's like, oh dear, got to call the doctors or something, and then you might want to learn your lines like that with on this production. I came to work feeling guilty so often because I felt like, oh gosh, I feel so behind on learning my lines. But there was never because my son was, what was he, maybe 6, 7 months old. So he's still very much baby in arms, needs to be held and things like that. And I'll try and grab moments in the middle of the night, maybe. But then at the same time, so you got to sleep too. So the juggle is just it's chaotic, but you can't drop the ball, and that's yeah, it's a different, no pun intended, it's a different ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 2023 as well, I think like it's definitely been a challenging year for a lot of people as well, with stuff that's going on in
Yeah.
the news and like just in life in general. And a lot of people are turning to comedy to, cheer themselves up. What do you like to
Mm.
do, to, cheer yourself up when you're having a bad day as well?
Well, to be honest with you, like I say, as a parent, you don't really get much time for many things when they're, babies and toddlers and things. But going for walks with the family is something that's been a real lifesaver. It's been good because it's good for us all. And my son, like, he really makes me smile. He really makes me smile. It could be the most stressful, chaotic moment where it's like, oh no, trying to get ready. Oh, he needs a bottle. Oh, there goes the nappy change. Oh, he wants to be in my arms. Oh, I love you, I love you. Da, da, da. And you look and you hear the crying. You're like, oh, I need a second. And I look at his face, and he might smile or something, and I'm just like, hmm. I could come in really tired from work. I could look at my son sleeping. It's just like, yeah, there's so much. I find so much peace within that. My wife, she's great, great support, and a real hard worker and everything. So having that sense of teamwork within it all is definitely a great help. And yeah, just taking, like I say, going for walks and things, and just conversing and expressing yourself, and just letting things out. It just helps to just, yeah, enjoy whatever it is you have. Just enjoy it as much as you can.
Mm,
Yeah. So yeah,
absolutely.
so many long answers. I'm sorry.
No, no, it's all right. Yeah, just as a last question, what do you hope people will take away with them when they come and see the play that goes wrong?
Oh, well, for a start, a happy memory. Um, just I don't know, the kind of joy that people can look back on, reflect on, and laugh about months down the line, and or years down the line even. Um, I hope they take away an experience that feels unique to anything else they've um, ever experienced. And I'm very confident for those who haven't seen any of the other goes wrong plays and things, will I would imagine they do feel that way. It's hard not to with a show like this, and um, just uh, just happiness. Really, that's what it's all about. It's just taking away joy and a sense of shock. And we have so many people that watching who've come from overseas, many Americans and things, and they might say, this was our only night in London and things like that, and we came to watch this, and or some people flew over to come and watch it and things like that. So just an occasion that has them feeling like it was well worth the time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Roland Bell, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.